And in 3 weeks, they did the permitting, they did design work, insurance work, permitting to drive the crane through, and here they are. All right, a bit into the project, we had a call about needing a bearing. We actually had this bearing on the shelf, if you can believe that. All right, so the maintenance guys refurbished the shaft, replaced the bearing. That's the kind of work that they do. Let me talk about my side of that. All right, we have about 700 employees. Fully about a third of them do volunteer projects every year. We do about 60 projects a year, about 2,500 hours worth of volunteer work. This is what the people at Shell Martinez do, and if you're from Martinez, you know that already. It's fun to be on these projects. It's fun to volunteer. You talk about community service from that perspective. I'll leave you with a tidbit. One of our guys, I won't say who it is, so I don't embarrass him, coming back from when we brought the beacon down, talked about first the fun of the lift, but the real impact to him was meeting the congratulations, a great job. To the Shell guys, you guys are awesome. Congratulations. And to the veterans, thank you for your service. And congratulations on the restoration of your beacon. All the best.
Appreciate that. The next person I want to bring up here, even though his day job is with Shell, today he's actually here representing the Dean and Margaret Lesher Foundation, the Vice President of the Board of Directors, who stepped forward to really give a gigantic lift to our fundraising campaign by creating a challenge gift. Vice President of the Board from the Dean and Margaret Lesher Foundation, Steve Lesher.
Thank you. Well, as Ron said, I'm a very proud Shell employee, and so today my day job and my evening job sort of coincide, because I'm happy to be here on behalf of Shell, but also on behalf of our family and the Lesher Foundation, but mostly on behalf of someone who can't be here today. We lost my sister about 8 weeks ago after a 6-year, very courageous battle with breast cancer she had. She was the real passion in our family behind the Mount Diablo Beacon. When she read Joan Morris's column in the Contra Costa Times, she came to our board meeting and said, we have to do this. The foundation's got to get $50,000 because we've got to help them match this quick. And a couple of other people that were sitting around the table said, well, you know, we've got an application process to go through. And she said, we don't have time for that. and so that's what we did. We went forward without any of that. She said, this is Save Mount Diablo we're talking about. We're not talking about some fly-by-night charity. And so sure enough, the foundation stepped up, and it was because of my sister's passion that she brought that to us and made that happen so quickly, because like any other organization, we have bureaucracy too, believe it or not, in our family. So I really am very proud. I wish she could be here, because I know that she would be very proud. She was a very proud patriot. She was very proud of our military, and she loved Contra Costa County and Mount Diablo. So it's really kind of a convergence of things for her. And I know that standing on the highest peak of Contra Costa today is the closest I'll get to her in quite a while. So, Chris, we love you and thank you.
Thank you, Steve. So before I bring up just the last of our speakers, I want to acknowledge some of the other folks that were involved in this, and our friends from the Contra Costa Times, which also have a Lesher connection. Dean Lesher was the founder of the Contra Costa Times, and he and his legacy of philanthropy in this community have lasted for decades. And they continue to support the community through fundraising efforts, and Joan Morris, by running a fundraising column to help raise the money, produced the remaining $50,000 we needed for this project from hundreds of individual donors giving as little as $3. So we thank Joan Morris and the Contra Costa Times. And we thank all the media who've given coverage to this project throughout its entirety, including today. We also want to thank all of the businesses and corporations that helped out in this. Redwood Painting, the Del Monte brothers and Steve Jackson for their work in helping us really to get the beacon refurbished so it looks as beautiful as it does today. We want to thank Global Village Construction, Rex Bothwell, Bothell, for making his facility in Concord available as the site for the restoration work. We want to thank Peterson Sheet Metal, Las Positas College welding class for welding the frame that we've been able to haul the beacon up and down the mountain on. And I also want to pay special thanks and tribute to the riggers from Shell, from the Martinez Refinery, and the crane operators from Maxim Crane, and from Maxim Crane for donating their services to this. John, thank you very much. An amazing piece of machinery. We couldn't have done this without it, but we couldn't have done it without you and your passion also, so thank you. I now want to, the last two pieces of the formal part of the speaking, and then we'll get on to the actual business of putting the beacon on the building. When we started this project, I talked to some of our own volunteers at Save Mount Diablo, and I knew there was one person whose help I needed most of all. And that was Dick Heron. Where are you, Dick? Did he go back? Come on back. Come on up here. Dick Heron, a retired engineer from Del Monte. I knew he knew how to do this project. And I'm going to let him say a couple of words in a minute, but I want to introduce three other people who are really critical in this entire effort. His co-chairs on this, John Gallagher, who's a member of our board of directors, chairman of the Save Mount Diablo Stewardship Committee. John, somewhere out there, right here, come on up. And the electrical brains behind this operation, John Stewart. And these are the three co-chairs that we've come to call the Beacon Boys, B-O-Y-Z. But there's one other person who I want to mention who's been a thread through this project for years and years and decades, and that's Bert Begardus. So Bert, come on up here. Bert is a retired state park ranger, and he took care of the beacon when he was a ranger, but after he retired, he kept making sure that that beacon would work every December 7th. So thank you, Bert. Dick, you want to say a few things?
There were a whole lot more people than the four of us. A lot of volunteers stepped forward. Greg, who's a son of one of the survivors, had a hand in making one of the repairs on the beacon. Alan from Lawrence Livermore, physicist, helped us with the glass and the optics. A lot of other people stepped forward with great talents, and I hope I'm speaking for all of them. John, Mickey, and Chuck, yeah, it would have not have happened if it weren't for you guys. We were doing it for you, and Hank, wherever you are down there, I think in Concord, we're thinking of you. We were hoping you were going to be up here today, but it's for you guys. It would just be a piece of machinery if it weren't for you. So our thoughts are with you.
Thank you, Beacon Board. So the final group that I wanted to call up here are the survivors themselves, just to come and stand in front of the podium here. And Chuck, if you want to say a couple of words, and I also want to call Kathleen Farley, the president of the Sons and Daughters group, to come forward. Because as Dick said, these are the folks we actually did it for, and we owe a debt of thanks and gratitude for them. And we're so happy and pleased that we were able to get this restoration completed so that the three of you could be here today.
You will never understand how much this means to my fellow survivors and I. We've been hoping for this for so long, And I think the three of us, Mickey, John, and I, are very lucky to be here today. And between us, even if we were to combine our vocabulary, I don't think that between us we could find sufficient words to tell you how thankful and how grateful we are to all of you for what you have done in the past few months and what you are doing here today. And even though there are just three of us who stand here before you, I can guarantee you that I feel the spirits of over 2,400 individuals who this beacon now comes to represent. I feel their spirits watching down on us today and what you're doing, and believe you me, they are applauding you also. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're going to move the beacon back. We'll get it rigged up. We'll lift it onto the top of the building. We're going to get it quickly bolted down and a temporary electrical hookup on it. And then we're going to run the remote cable down here, and we're going to let the survivors push the button and turn the beacon on and let it start to spin and hopefully light up once again. So, Shell, and in the meantime, we have refreshments over there. Enjoy the view and take opportunity to get photos with the survivors. So, Shell and Maxim, do your thing.
No, they should be. Yes, right.
Now what's happening? Is it out of film yet?